With the fights being next month, I think it is good to look at Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler, especially with these new things that are coming out about Conor. I've already made a video of Conor McGregor and what's the possibilities of him, but that was a couple months ago. That was before the Michael Chandler fight ever got restabilized and put for UFC 303. I already made a video questioning Conor McGregor if he's already washed or why he isn't fighting. I made a lot of points in that video. Go check that out when you can. But now it's finally official. It's UFC 303, Michael Chandler, Conor McGregor at 170. Michael Chandler is one of the easier styles for Conor McGregor. Now, that does sound insane, giving Michael Chandler's power, his overall snap to his punches, and his wrestling. But Conor McGregor has beaten so many wrestlers with a left hand, so many wrestlers with an overhand. He's constantly has talked about it during his featherweight run, where he was constantly beating wrestlers with an overhand, and that's what this fight is really all about. It's Michael Chandler is a very big wrestler, a very huge wrestler, and I can't imagine him at 170, but he has an overhand, and he has probably one of the best overhands. In terms of pure styles, Michael Chandler is the best wrestler with an overhand in terms of what Conor McGregor declares those kind of styles. And this is the best version. This is the best wrestler with an overhand. And Conor McGregor can easily capitalize with that piston of a southpaw cross and be able to do his natural movements, his little karate stance. If we see Conor McGregor in a karate stance, we're going to see what Conor did to those other wrestlers with overhands compared to Michael Chandler Conor. In pure styles, Michael Chandler is a wrestler with an overhand in terms of what Conor McGregor declares these kind of fights. He's always talked about it. He's talked about wrestlers with an overhand for a while now, even in his featherweight run. But Michael Chandler is probably the best wrestler with an overhand, going by Conor's terms. And we've seen in Conor's career, these wrestlers with overhands just get absolutely torched by the southpaw cross of Conor. And this fight is the fight always looks like a Conor McGregor show, and it's a very big question as to whether or not Michael Chandler can break the system, break the style that Conor McGregor is so good at, because against these wrestlers with overhands, Conor has looked really well against them. Conor going against these kind of styles, Conor's beaten Dennis Silver, who is a wrestler with an overhand and also a very nasty kicking game, but it made it look easy against Conor. I mean, Conor really put on the pace. And he also beat Chad Mendes, who is honestly a 145 version of Michael Chandler, because it is just a guy that has no neck. His overhand is whippy. His wrestling is just explosive. Chad Mendes was a very good win on Conor's record, and we saw how that fight played out. Conor was able to weather the wrestling storm and be able to piece Chad Mendes and get that cross, ultimately ending with the interim featherweight belt. And I think the last wrestler with an overhand, once again, I'm constantly going to talk about wrestlers with overhands in these quotation marks, because a lot of people declare, Conor included, has declared these guys as that. And the last one that Conor's fought that looks amazing is him against Eddie Alvarez when he got that second belt. I mean, that fight was Conor McGregor from start to finish. And Eddie Alvarez is a very nasty wrestler with a good boxing game. He has a relatively good boxing game, but just likes to put on a pace, and Conor just stopped it instantly. Conor that night looked one of the best lightweights we've ever seen, but over time, shit's happened. He's lost to Nate Diaz, he's lost to Khabib, obviously, but he's on a 2-fight losing streak against Dustin Poirier, which, yes, I understand the second fight, he broke his leg, blah, 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 but he was not looking good in that fight. I mean, Dustin beat him in that first round, but even in that second fight, Dustin was able to get the calf kicks going and really put on a beautiful performance against Conor. And Michael Chandler can definitely do the same. Michael Chandler can definitely be out explosive compared to Conor McGregor and be able to harbor rounds or even get a finish. Here's the issue. It's hard to get past Conor McGregor to get to his legs when it comes to just pure open mat wrestling. We even see in the first couple seconds of Conor versus Khabib, where Khabib had trouble getting that takedown. Obviously, he ended up getting it, but it's not as easy as you can just take Conor down. Conor has a very good wrestling game. It's just when you start chaining the wrestling. But the big question is also, is Michael Chandler actually going to wrestle? This is a crowd full of Conor McGregor's and a lot of casuals, And I know Michael Chandler's going into this fight thinking, I got to put on a show. If he, in that first round, that first minute, shoots on Conor, the amount of boos this guy is going to get is going to be tremendous. It's going to be absolutely insane how quickly he gets booed. And I think Michael Chandler is just going to be a brawler in this fight. And that's a very difficult task to try to brawl such a sniper in Conor McGregor. But I think the biggest question is Conor McGregor even taking this fight serious? I don't know if you guys have seen, but there has been videos of Conor McGregor going out, drinking, having a night. A lot of experts like Michael Bisping said he'll be fine. It's not that big of a deal, but that also comes into play. If you're partying, getting ready for a fight, and you're still partying, I wonder how that training session's going, because he's shown some videos of sparring photos and stuff like that. But for you to go out and for you to be able to have a pub, have a drink or two, just, it's not discipline. And I wonder if he's even training like how a true fighter would train. Then again, this isn't Conor McGregor. This isn't a wild thing to think of somebody who's partying, having the time of their lives, be able to go in there and win a fight. I mean, we just saw Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. Devin Haney would wake up early in the morning and just start running, and runs until he fucking dies, trains twice a day, goes on 2 runs a day, eats beautifully, while Ryan was spewing about some random shit. His account got hacked and he just didn't look like he was fully there, yet he put a beating on Devin Haney. And for all you Devin Haney fans that are in the comments, your dude is trash. He is absolutely dog shit. And it's a very big question of, can Conor still do it messing around? I mean, can he still knock out Michael Chandler while, going out and not being as disciplined as he was before? A lot of the Conor McGregor fans fell in love with the trash talking, but the mindset of Conor. The fact that he had all this money and he was still training very hard. He was still so disciplined. He had some cold words. A hungry Conor McGregor is what made people fall in love with the guy. This doesn't seem like a hungry Conor McGregor. This seems just a guy that loves the fight. He doesn't care about legacy anymore. I think that's the big issue with Conor, is that the legacy's already there. I mean, this guy's made tons of money. Who cares about his legacy? So he's not really looking. Yeah, he'll call out the lightweight champ, but he's not going to train like he's going to train for a lightweight champ. That's what it's seeming like it's going to be. Before, the hungry Conor was the most disciplined, hard-nosed, I'm going to train every day kind of guy. And now we're seeing this new side of Conor, and who knows if it's actually going to be beneficial. I think overall this fight will be very fun. I think it's going to be a brawl, and I do think Conor has a very good style against Michael Chandler to win this. Unless Michael Chandler goes shoots takedowns and actually has like a very smart fight, I don't think Conor McGregor can lose this one. I think Conor McGregor can very well outbox and outmaneuver Michael Chandler through 5 rounds. Now, with this whole training issue that we're seeing of going to the pubs, who knows if he can even make 5 rounds. And I think if Michael Chandler is still there after the 2nd and 3rd rounds, there's going to be a very big tail end of the fight of Michael Chandler beating into Conor, and that's going to be a very entertaining fight. I think overall this fight is going to get the eyes of the casuals. It's going to get the eyes of everybody, because it's just going to be a fun one. It's going to be one that you can lay back and just have fun looking at 2 men just absolutely destroy one another. Guys, let me know in the comments how you feel about Conor McGregor. Do you guys think he's washed? Do you guys think he's not as motivated as before? I would love to get your opinions. Also, let me know what you guys would like to see. It's been Santi. It's been Studs.